Alright, so y'all want to get better with Storm? Today I'll help you with that. She's currently getting banned in most ranked matches, and there's a reason for that. We're going to be going over some essential tips, tricks, all that good stuff, some things you guys need to know when using this character. I'm also going to include some gameplay by the end of this, so that way you guys can see how everything just comes together. Now, Storm isn't your average DPS. She's a little complex. While outputting massive damage, she can buff your teammates as well. In order to use this character the right way, you're going to have to understand the way the game works, how other characters work, as well as being a little savvy when it comes to maneuvering around the map and the battlefield. And speaking of savvy, go ahead and slide down to that like and comment button down below to support the channel. Let me know what you think about Storm, if you think she's going to receive some buffs, nerfs in the upcoming season, and feel free to subscribe to support the channel, and it's free. Alright, we're done with the yapping, it's time to get to the first tip. Tip number 1, flying. Now I know this may come across as like, wow bro, I know how to fly. Half of y'all don't. You guys are flying too high. I understand you want to let your hair flow in the wind, be up high, all that good stuff, but remember, she's also a support. You need to stay around your team. Storm has a circle that surrounds her, that buffs her team, and the higher you fly, the smaller the circle gets. So while you're up in the air having a who can fly slower challenge with Human Torch, your team is down below not receiving the buffs that they need to take out this Doctor Strange with 2 healers in his pocket. This goes hand in hand with my second tip, and that's to play around your tanks as well as cover. I don't need to dive too much into what that means exactly because it's pretty self-explanatory. But just like I was saying before, don't fly so high. Stay closer to the ground, play kind of right behind your tanks, so that way you can always give them a speed boost if they need to get out of somewhere, or a damage boost to give them the upper edge. Now this doesn't mean to go dive with the dive tanks. We all know it, Storm is not fast, so you don't need to be heading to the back line where Venom and sometimes Thor goes. So as long as you kick back, stay low enough to where your healers can still see you, because I know as flying characters, we're always complaining about, we're not getting healed. Well, it's because you're 50,000 feet in the air. Like, what are you doing? You're not around anybody. If anything, you need to go find your own health packs. Playing around your cover can definitely help while you're flying that low, especially when it comes to fighting assassins like Hela and Hawkeye. Tip number 3, play around enemy support ultimates. Remember when I said you need a little knowledge to play this character? This is what I mean. Support ultimates like Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger, and Sue Storm directly counter Storm's ultimate. With that being said, you need to know when the enemy team is using theirs so then you can use it after to take full advantage. Now if you see on the enemy team that they just have like a Loki and a Rocket, then you should be happy as hell. So understanding certain audio cues when it comes to a character using their ultimate, whether they're on your team versus the enemy team, will help when it comes to using your ultimate. Or if you want to play some mind games, you can always use it to bait out the enemy ultimates, so that way your team can use theirs and just go crazy. Tip number 4, practice your aim. You're never going to be successful with this character if you're just going out there and just breaking shots left and right. So after watching this video, before you just jump into ranked, you need to go into the little practice range, get your shots off, all that good stuff. And once you feel comfortable, then you head into pubs, go out there, float around, get your shots off, see how you really feel, and get your confidence up. Now that we know how to aim, it's time for our 5th tip, and that's to line up your shots. It's weird that not a lot of people know this, but her attacks actually do pierce damage. So while you're flying low, like we said before, when you get in these kind of alleyways and you see all these characters, line them up. The same way you would with a collateral on Call of Duty and you're using a sniper. This is one of the main reasons why you see Storms out there with high damage outputs as well as high kills and assists. And that brings us to tip number 6, using the Goddess boost. Remember that circle of buffs that Storm has that I was talking about earlier? This basically just enhances that. When you're in wind and use Goddess boost, you give yourself a 40% movement boost and your allies 20%. Enemies that are within this field also get minus 15% to their movement. If you're using Thunder in the Goddess boost, you're giving yourself a plus 30% damage boost and your allies 12%. That's huge. Now not only that, lightning will strike every 2 seconds and deal damage to everyone that's within the radius. So obviously if you're flying too high and you have a small radius, then you won't be doing any extra damage to anybody and you won't be giving any buffs to your allies. So playing in that mid to backline is really going to be your sweet spot. Tip number 7, and this is going to be the most important one. If there's a Spider-Man in your game, just quit. Just quit right now. I'm telling you, he is impossible to play against as his character. You're not fast enough and it is what it is. I hope she gets buffed in the future, but if there is a Spider-Man on the other team, just switch. I'm telling you. Sometimes you might play against some out there that may not be very good, because I can fight off some Spider-Man sometimes, but I'm not gonna lie, he's been kind of cracked recently. Everyone's using him, so what you need to do is if you're playing ranked, you ban him. If not, then switch to somebody like Namor if you just want to win. At the end of the day, most characters, if not all characters, have a counter. That's just how the game works. So what you need to do is suck up your pride and you switch. Nobody likes a one trick. Alright, now it's time for some gameplay. In this game, I actually go 40-0. I know we're in pubs, I'm just playing with the boys, we're having a good time, so don't take us too seriously. But I believe it's just something nice to show you guys, showcase Storm how good she can really be. And if you guys believe that any of these tips helped you today, please drop a like and comment down below. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Peace.
This is real firepower! Feel the wrath of the goddess! A great way to start! I lift up my compass. Shield off! During my storm!
Now I see them. A little extra oomph. We are undefeatable!
Tremble before Bast! Happy to bring on the chaos.
Always been a shield up! Your team's action cover. That's 3!
the wrath of the goddess!